What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I hope everyone is doing well today. I know I've been doing pretty well. Pretty good. It's weather's been pretty warm here in the good old state of Florida, but pretty soon, at least to my expectations and whatever the weather channel and the myriad of different local networks that have told me the weather of it's supposed to be getting colder here soon at some point. I don't fully know when, but it is starting to get cold up north in America, so maybe it'll start to get cold down here pretty soon. I'm not a big fan of the cold myself, but I mean, I have gotten used to the cold after being 3.5 years in the state of Ohio, so you kind of get used to it. Coming back to Florida as a Florida man myself, after 3.5 years of being in Ohio, you get used to the cold. It's like it grows on you. Now that being said, like I can now walk between 60 to 70 degrees without like needing a sweater or like or sweatpants or like a jean or anything. I can go out in like shorts and a t-shirt in like 65-degree weather. Once it goes below 60, then you're gonna need the sweater and longer pants and all that. And then below 50, you're gonna need to break out the long underwear. You know the one I'm talking about? I think it's like thermic underwear, whatever the hell it is. The one that you put on, and it's like way longer than your standard underwear and it's supposed to keep you like warm, like really warm in wintertime. I've only had to use those only a few times in my life. When I was in college in Toledo, I definitely had to use the thermic underwear a whole lot. But that's beside the point for today's video. I'd like to touch on something I've been noticing on the internet over the past couple of days, or more like weeks, past couple of days, I would say, is this whole really dumb mindset among people. Now, granted, I know it's 2025, it's the internet, it's the age of, publicly showing to the world how stupid you are, or how you claim to be a lord among people because your way of thinking or your way of life is way better than the way of life or way of thinking that you see other people engage in. It's just not you. I'm above that. I'm better than all of those people. As a Homelander once said, I'm smarter, I'm stronger, I'm better. I am better. Well, I don't think you're better because you live one way or another, but I definitely don't agree with that mindset of like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm definitely a lot better in my eyes. Look, in terms of how well you do, it's subjective. Some people are satisfied with very little. Other people are satisfied with a lot, and people are satisfied of life in their own way, shape, and form. I know myself, I'm satisfied with some things. Yeah, I'm not satisfied with other things in life, but if you're not satisfied with something, I've always said, you do what you must in order to make sure that you are finally satisfied with your life. As long as you're not harming anyone, that's always the big rule. The big rule of life. If you're gonna do well in life, or if you're gonna get ahead in life, as long as you're not trampling over somebody else or stomping on them, or just basically negatively affecting somebody else, then go for it. If this is all you, only affects you, and you're the only one in control of the outcome, then by all means go for it. Do what you gotta do. Get that bread, fam. Bring home the bacon. But my issue is with those people on the internet, because I've seen a lot of people, as someone who is almost at the age of 30, I have seen people on the internet who are older than me. Usually, obviously, of course, anyone who's older than me is pretty much a millennial, at least from what I understand. So a lot of millennials, the young end of millennials, the late millennial half of that whole generation. I mean, I guess the older millennials do have this thing as well. Basically, just millennials and those of us who are on the older end of Gen Z, and those who are just starting to get onto the into the adult years of Gen Z. If you've already reached that age in life, but really, this would apply more to you if you're past the age of 25. Of course, depending on who you talk to, they're like, oh no, as soon as you pass 18, everything changes, or as soon as you hit 21, or as soon as you do this, as soon as you reach this point in your life, things change, and you can't do this, you can't be like this, blah 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 blah. My issue is, I go on the internet, I see, a grown adult who's very excited about something that they've done. You know, a very loud, very outspoken adult who wants to be happy about something that they've experienced in life that's great for them. You know, they go on the internet and share with the internet their joy and their happiness in the thing that they have achieved. Great for, good for them. You know, I applaud this individual for getting to where they got in life. You know, it's always best to cheer for everyone's accomplishments. If you're someone, I mean, obviously as long as they're, good accomplishments, not bad accomplishments. Like, oh yeah, I just brutally massacred like 100 people. No, that's obviously not well, I mean, I guess in that person's eyes that's an achievement, and everybody else's eyes that's a nightmare. That's a crime against humanity, or a life in prison sentence, or a life sentence. But no, I'm getting sidetracked here. My issue is when I see, an adult who did something good for themselves, that's it's a nice thing for themselves, and they want to be open about it and express to the world, hey, I'm so happy about this, and they're really energetic. They're more of the extroverted type. I myself am not an extroverted individual. I prefer to keep things mostly to myself. Every now and then I get a little excited. I mean, obviously from these videos you don't know if I'm introverted or extroverted. I guess you can kind of tell if you're like an expert at facial cues or emotional cues or how my voice sounds or whatever. I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not really qualified to answer those kinds of questions regarding that. But the bottom line is, you're really excited about a good thing you did, and you want to share with the world about it. And you have a very open and very loud way of expressing yourself to the world. Or let's say you are an adult, and you're somebody who, let's say, I don't know, you live alone, and you don't have any like major responsibilities. You're a responsible adult paying your bills. You're working a 9 to 5. You're experiencing the grind, or you're making money in a very harmless way. Something like that. You're doing well for yourself, and you want to share with the world, about the good that you're doing for yourself, or you want to share with the world about what you've accomplished, or some cool item that you have. It's like a woman in her 30s and getting excited about getting a Labubu, for example. Now, I'm someone who I mean, I don't really own a Labubu, and I don't really want a Labubu. First off, it's just not my thing. It's just something that I've never had any interest in. I do like the name though. It is funny as fuck to say Labubu for some strange reason. One of those people who gets really, really excited when I say a stupid sounding word, and Labubu is one of those stupid sounding words. But no, it's like when I see a grown woman on the internet getting excited about having a Labubu, and then I see people on the internet being like, "Oh, you're a woman in your 30s and you're getting excited about owning a plushie with a goofy face on it." Or like, I mean, there's some men who want Labubus and they get excited, and then on the internet you have an individual who says like, "Bro, you're gay as fuck, bro," or like you're a homo, bro, or some shit like that. And I'm sitting here like, bruh. Like, he just bought a Labubu for himself. Like, it's not, as a man, I have things that interest me, that probably one of these, I hate using this word, but I guess one of these chuds on the internet, I as someone who hates, I guess, wokey terminology, I'm saying that as a lefty myself who hates wokey terminology. Honestly, when your mind just goes all over the political spectrum on one thing and another thing, you have strange ways of describing your likes and dislikes. Well, I'm just, the word chud is one of those things where I'm like, I agree that a guy who's a meathead on the internet, I think that's a better way of describing it. Basically a man bitch, a man bitch. One of those man whores on the internet who likes to show themselves off shirtless, or it's like, I go to the gym on a regular basis, bro. Oh, look at me, I'm investing in my crypto. Look at me, I'm always dressed in a 3-piece suit, or my suit is too tight to where, I gotta show everyone my lack of thighage. My lack of thigh, if that's even a word. My lack of thighs, because my pants are so damn tight, and like I can barely like keep my legs in my pants because I decided to buy these small size pants because I think this makes me look attractive to the ladies. It's like, gentlemen, look at me. I was able to basically the Andrew Tate type men. I absolutely am not a fan of Andrew Tate. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think Andrew Tate is like the worst fucking example for men to look up to, regardless of age. Andrew Tate to me is a man whore and a fuckboy. Like, I'm gonna be very open about this as a man. Like, when he tells you, "Oh, you gotta be somebody who bangs multiple women in a day. You drive Bugattis and you've got your fancy 3-piece suit and you got a Rolex and you're investing in your crypto investments or whatever bullshit." Look, I have crypto investments myself. I'm not gonna go into detail on them, but it's something I did, as a for the lols side thing. I don't expect it to get anywhere, but someday if the economy for crypto expands, I guess I'll, hey, free pocket change, I guess, or whatever, or free money. But that's beside the point. These types of gentlemen on the internet, and I've seen a couple of these guys. The other day on Twitter, I saw a guy who was out here talking about how, like, oh, like, I don't like, and this is one of the things that these types of men always bitch about, how they're always like, guys, how dare a man play video games? If you're a man who plays video games, or you're a man who enjoys anime, you're not a real man, you're a pussy, you're a homo, you're this. I'm like, and I'm sitting here as a guy who's been playing video games since he was, for as long as I can remember. I've been playing video games. I mean, my first console was an N64 when I was little. As for anime, I've never really been into it until around, like, my early 20s, like, as soon as I got out of college, and that's just because I've heard of it, I've been exposed to it for a very long time, but I've never was really into it until, like, my very early 20s. So, I was a little late onto the bandwagon, I guess, but in terms of animation as a whole, I prefer animated programming significantly more than live action. It's something I've always said for so many years. The only few live action shows I've ever enjoyed in my entire life were Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and Narcos. Those are the few live action shows I've ever enjoyed in my life. I'm not a big live action person. Like, yeah, every now and then I'll see something that's live action where I'm like, that's really good. It's just really hard for me to, like, see, like, especially when you've seen a lot of, like, really crappy action movies that star, like, The Rock or something, and you just can't see the character when you see an actor on screen. You just see the actor and you're just like, I'm already kind of, like, not invested in it. At least with animation, this isn't really a concern. You see the character, you hear the voice of the actor, but you don't see the actor, so it's a lot easier for you to not be like, oh wait, I don't see the what's his face from iRobot. I just see Will Smith and the CGI android in front of him telling him about the laws of robotics. My memory of iRobot is kind of, I've seen it a couple of times when I was younger, and I have some kind of memories of it, but my memory about the movie, because I haven't seen it in a very long time, is kind of off. But decent movie. I still see Will Smith basically and a bunch of androids around them. So, but no. As someone who enjoys all these things, look, am I gonna sit here and be like, oh yes, I'm an absolute alpha male, I'm some guy who, like, I enjoy, because I see men on the other end who are like, yes, I enjoy all these things, therefore I'm superior, and I don't want to be like these woke tards on the internet who don't let me see my waifu booba on screen because they want to promote, some sort of liberal Marxist gay agenda or something. And, like, no, I'm not on that end either. I'm not a big fan of the people who tell you to you can't enjoy, fan service because, like, this is sexism or all that. No, I hate that side as well. I just want to enjoy some shit. That's basically it. I find it entertaining. I'm sorry that you don't find entertaining what I find entertaining to both of these sides, but in particular to the man whore types, to the Andrew Tate types, to those types of guys, the guys who have to sit on a couch with a leopard print or like an animal skin coat on them, which I guarantee you that shit's not even animal skin, because, I mean, in most places it's, like, outlawed, from what I recall, to actually hunt an animal for its pelt these days. I mean, some places it's not, and I know these pelt, jackets are insanely expensive. I'm not the biggest fan of them for the fact that, I love animals. I'm not a big fan of, sport hunting. I absolutely hate it. If you're gonna hunt an animal, hunt it, because you want to eat it. Because you need sustenance. Obviously that I fully understand. You need to eat. We've been hunting animals for food for hundreds of years, thousands of years. Understandable. I hate the people that are like, I'm gonna hunt a deer just so I can put its head on my wall. That's a little retarded, I'm not gonna lie. But like at the same time, like, yeah, like you can be critical of something. I'm not saying these guys don't have a right to say what they're saying, but it is pretty douchebaggy that you go on the internet and say to other people who are just living, other grown-ass adults who are just living their lives, they're not hurting anybody, and you're telling them, oh, you can't live like that, that's living like a pussy, you haven't matured yet. The people, and I don't remember who said this, but someone said, if you are someone who maturity is, I don't know if the right word to say is abstract, but maturity is basically, I guess, subjective, abstract. Maybe I'm using my words wrong here. Sorry about that. Maturity is one of these things that if you're someone who always talks about how mature you are, guys, how mature I am, I'm a very mature adult. Like, maturity is one of those things that, it happens. It doesn't happen the same to everybody. It's not like puberty, where like there's a specific age in your life where you've transitioned from being a prepubescent child to now being a child post puberty, and then after that you become a couple years later, then you're a full blown adult. I think around 21 is when you finally finish developing, if I remember correctly. Again, I'm not a medical expert, but if I recall, this is from my own memory. My own memory it has to have an asterisk next to it because I'm not too 100% sure if that's the case or not. But when you are somebody who constantly talks about, oh, you can't be 33 and be all loud and crazy and obnoxious because you did you did something great for yourself, it's like, no, you shouldn't be like that. You need to conform to society. You need to be quiet and reserved and just be like, hello everyone, I am so excited I got promoted. I am so excited that my art piece is now famous among the world. I am so excited that my song is now taking off on the internet. Like, I am so happy. Woo, not pray for me, celebrate me. Woo. It's like, no, no, it's one of those things that I absolutely detest about, humanity. There's things I love about humanity and I detest about humanity. There's always somebody who's going to be really happy for themselves. There's always going to be some jackass who has to show up and rain on somebody's parade because, most of the time I feel like it's coming from a realm of jealousy. Like, you're just jealous about the fact that, you probably had a shitty childhood and you didn't do anything to actually break, break any of that vicious cycle. So now you're continuing the vicious cycle. So you're kind of like the adult equivalent of like the schoolyard bully, back when I was in school. The one kid who's like who comes from a shitty background, and so they're trying to relieve their stress, and to relieve their stress, they take it out upon anyone who they think is inferior to them. It's literally like that. It's like, oh, I don't like that you're happy about this, or I don't like that you're a grown woman getting excited about a Labubu, or you're a man who's collecting anime statues, or you're an adult playing video games at the age of 36 or some shit like that. It's like, I know adults who are playing video games and they're past 40. Like, I guarantee you I will still be enjoying this medium when I'm in my 60s, for fuck's sake. I've seen videos of like elderly people playing games. I remember there was that one grandmother who was like really big on Skyrim. And if you follow Fortnite, there's bush camping dad who's about as old as my own dad who's playing Fortnite regularly. I mean, he's an expert at hiding in bushes in Fortnite and getting to the top ranks of ranked Fortnite without having to really do a whole lot. I mean, honestly, that's amazing. While at the same time doing something else on the side, if you're doing something that you enjoy, and I see nothing wrong with that. Like, for these assholes on the internet to come out, like the Andrew Tate kinds, to come out and I remember years ago there was some video about some asshole who had a baseball bat. I don't remember what the video was called. I just remember there was some asshole living in some like shallow looking Dubai style apartment, and he's like in a fur coat with a baseball bat, and he's got like these the guy looks like he's wearing like eyeliner or something, because his eyes have like those dudes who have like really dark like eyelashes around them. He looks like that. Look, I'm not gonna judge if you're a man that uses makeup. If you're a man who uses makeup, it's not my thing, obviously. But if you're a man who puts on makeup. I mean, that's fine if you do that, dog. I ain't here to judge, but I'm saying this in regards to the individual that I'm talking about. This guy is out here shitting on men who play games, watch anime, things like that, watch cartoons, things like that, and he's like, oh, if you're that, you're not a real man. You're not. What even is a real man anymore in 2025? Because at this point, in most of the world, especially here in the United States, you've been told from a young age that, yes, to be a real man, you must finish high school. And if you want to be an even bigger man, you go to college. And then after college, you get a good 9-to-5 job that pays you a good salary. And then once you've saved enough, you can buy your own home. And then you can have a car. And then you gotta meet the woman of your dreams. That'll come at some point. And then once you have that woman of your dreams, you marry her. Then you have like a kid or two. And then you live in the fancy house with the white picket fence around it. And you look like one of those nuclear families from a 1950s sitcom. Yeah, Chief, this is 2025, not 1955. We don't live in that reality anymore. The average American male is probably broke as shit, lives with their parents, and is working a dead-end 9-to-5 job, like yours truly. So, it's the new America. It's the new reality of living in an America with no hopes and dreams. It's the modern American, I wouldn't say American dream, but more like American nightmare, without really referencing American Nightmare the game itself, but just referencing just describing the current situation in America. And I guess in other parts of the world, look, I can't really speak for the rest of the world because I don't know how it is in Europe or in Canada or in Asia, but I can tell you how it is here, and it's not fun. If you do anything as an American, whether male or female, gay, straight, black, white, I don't give a fuck. If you're an American here in this country, or if you're anybody in this country, whether you're American or non-American, and you get, and you're getting ahead of for yourself in life, you're doing well, and you want to share with the world that you're doing well, or hey, I just bought some cool shit for me. Look at this cool thing I bought off Amazon, or this cool thing I bought off, I don't know, this website on the internet that sells this cool shit. Or if you're a grown woman who's like, look, I bought a Labubu. I'm curious what Labubu I got. It's like, look, don't give two shits what these random jackasses on the internet are saying, because at the end of the day, their opinion really does not matter. I mean, to be fair, nobody's opinion really matters, if I'm going to be, I guess, cynical in this sense, but, like, there's people who care about, everyone's opinion. I mean, if we put it on my opinion doesn't matter. The opinions of everyone doesn't really matter. I mean, for fuck's sake, like the highest people in the world's opinions don't matter either. Like, nobody's opinion matters, and everybody's opinion matters. It's like I guess like a 50-50 in this sense. It's like a oh shit, what is it? It's like a, I guess, it's like a two sides of the same coin, I guess. It's like everything matters, everything doesn't matter. And philosophical and deep here. But no, like, if you're someone who wants to share something with the world, then go ahead and share it. Do not feel ashamed to share what you want to share with the world. If somebody has something to say about it, and they're being an ass about it, and then you have a lot of people who are not being an ass about it, the ass's opinions do not matter, because at the end of the day, what comes out of the ass? Shit. And if an ass is talking in your comments, what are they saying? What's coming out of their phone or their mouth or whatever, however they choose to tell you their opinions? Shit. Who cares what they have to say? What matters to you is that you're happy, you're not hurting anybody, and you're doing well for yourself. If somebody doesn't like them, well, fuck them. And you know why? 'Cause fuck them, that's why. But, yeah, no, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that, because I've been hearing so much about this idiotic dialogue of, like, what it means to be a mature adult, what it means to be a real adult, what it means to be a true man, or a real, I guess, or a real woman, or a real whatever. Look, there is no real man, there is no real woman, there is no real adult. Maturity is subjective. You've matured when you know you've reached it. It's hard to really explain maturity. I don't even know if I'm mature myself. I mean, hell, when I was in my early 20s, I've been told once I'm like one of the most immature adults of all time, and I was 21 at the time. I mean, I guess I mean I've changed. I guess since I was 21. I mean I'm 28 now. I've changed a lot since then. Like yeah, I still say some shit that I've been saying since I was a teenager. Like it's hard to change that aspect when that's how you've grown up. You know, it's hard to change. It's like one of those things that still, I guess, it's like the perk in Fallout. It's I think it's a kid at heart. You still have some aspects of when you were a kid as an adult, but obviously there's some aspects that you had when you were a kid that you didn't carry on over into your adulthood, which are, you know, traits that you definitely did not want to carry on over into your adult years because they're definitely like not good traits. You said to yourself, there's traits when you're younger that you don't want to bring into your later years, and there's traits when you were younger that you do want to bring into your later years. Because, you know, there's stuff that made you really happy when you were 16 that still makes you really happy when you're 28. And that's perfectly fine. You know, if you're still happy, I mean, hell, every nowadays, like I still listen to like the really old Tyler the Creator songs from when I was in high school, like Goblin or Wolf or any of those old albums when Tyler was really making some edgy music where he was saying some fucked up shit in his songs. Every now and then I'll listen to him when I'm, you know, old, just because in my later years now, because, you know, that's the songs that I heard when I was a teenager. They still kind of slap hard as fuck, I'm not gonna lie. The lyrics are pretty messed up, and, you know, but when and every now and then when I'm out here, you know, singing these lyrics to myself as a joke, because I still remember the lyrics to Tyler the Creator's Transylvania like the back of my head. Ask Malik and Jimmy about them. They definitely can vouch for me that I absolutely remember these lyrics pretty damn well after all these years, because it's a song that, you know, it brings me back to more simpler times. And for a lot of adults in America and the world as a whole, there's things that bring us back to the happier times in life. Or there's things in life that you know, new things that make us happy. And if there's something that makes you happy and you want to, you know, and you're not hurting nobody and you want to share it, then by all means do it. Just do it. To sound like Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. So that's what I do. I do it. Anyways, I'd like to thank y'all for watching this video and listening to my yap session for today. And I will see y'all next time. Peace.